Hi, this is Finnick, and if you would like to say, shut the fuck up and get to the video's topic, here's that timestamp. For those of you who may recognize me, long time no see. I know. Look. Hey, look. I've just been a little disconnected from video making these past few years, all right? It took time as a then 19-year-old and now 22-year-old recently terminated barista. What? Oh, hey! Recently terminated? As in fired? I raised you an eyebrow. Was I fired or was I just fired up? Exactly. Welcome to the Black Demolition, where every thought has a home here. Let me ask you a little something. Do you remember late nights on your parents' DVR? You're scrolling through your recent recordings, past the Disney, past the CN, no extra N, past the Nickelodeon. Episode after episode. Special after rerun. Obviously, ain't nobody fucking with that sweet shit, right? You want to have a topic for Mrs. Jones' class in second period tomorrow. You want to make motherfuckers bow down to you and shit. Ain't nothing but a few scrolls down. The immense tension of gouging into your pillow from excitement overwhelms you. Not like when you stayed up until 12 a.m. watching Robot Chicken, or even Sex and the City on HBO. No. This was different. It was like a training ground. A ground that bred you into one that laughs in the face of gore. Spike's 1,000 Ways to Die.
Warning. The stories portrayed in this show are based on real deaths and are extremely graphic. Names have been changed to protect the identities of the deceased. Do not attempt to try any of the actions depicted. You will die.
1,000 Ways to Die released in 2008 until it had its conclusion on my birthday, July 15, 2012, with 74 episodes consisting of roughly 220 individual segments. Originally airing on the channel most of us recognize it on, being Spike, which I consider the male personification of hypocrisy. Then, eventually, it found its home on Comedy Central. Now, this must have been when I checked out of the series, as I fear going back and watching older episodes, you witness a decline in credibility for these somewhat true events. Kind of like a True TV's World's Dumbest Clone, almost. Hey, so I misspoke. Some of the episodes were completely fictionalized or based on debunked urban legends, kind of like whoever the fuck is dressing Jim Carrey right now. The series' main focus would be to showcase a variety of gory, accidental, unfathomable, and downright fucking stupid ass deaths. Originally produced by Original Productions, original, and created by Tom Beers, owner of Spike, 1,000 Ways to Die premiered on the day of Wins or Humps Wednesday, May 14th, 2008. 1,000 Ways to Die did something vastly different from all the other shows airing at the time. It was made to be gawked at, to somehow be analyzed, albeit indirectly and somewhat unserious and disrespectful at times. We're immediately tossed into what I describe as thinly veiled misogyny, severe homophobia, and bigotry, all easily accessible to children. I, for one, being one of those children. A staple of 1,000 Ways to Die has to be their little quirked up titles, right? We got Semi-Side, Tumble Die, Love Bugged, and Fang Banged. Essentially the most family friendly you could possibly get on television besides The Sopranos. Tom Beers and director Tom McMahon, Tom B and director Tom M, according to the 1,000 Ways to Die wiki, named the segments using a mixture of dark humor and movie parodies to make the scenarios that more culturally significant.
How could you not say cunt? That's cunt.
Now, upon doing research for this video, apparently Spike had to cancel the production of 1,000 Ways to Die halfway through season 4, still with plans of airing the remaining episodes, mind you. Here's why. The company themselves was in deep horse dung dookie shit after 30 crew members described being thwarted for their efforts to form a union to negotiate health and pension benefits. Ho, kid you not. The strike began and Spike, the network, striked the show. Completely deconstructed her from the inside out. They dropped production and hired new workers before the strike even got to a point. We got new employees at Spike before we even got GTA 6. 1000 Ways to Die was narrated by 1000 Ways to Die was narrated by fucking Hellboy. From 2009, Ron Perlman was the narrator for 1000 Ways to Die until being replaced by Shotgun Tom Kelly. The main controversy from the aired episodes of 1000 Ways to Die was its portrayal of the deceased, oftentimes shaming people who've been caught in the wrong moment.
It's like you hired the wrong wedding planner. Looks like I hired the wrong cheerleader coach. Well, I've got news for you. You're the wrong stepmother.
Funnily enough, 1000 Ways to Die formed a spin-off series titled 1000 Ways to Lie, which nobody watched nor gave a damn! And at one point, they released a graphic novel adaptation, which, you know, I would have read that. It kind of reminds me of when Final Destination had like a similar route with a novel series. Oh, you know, let me know if y'all interested in diving into that because, you know, I don't know if y'all know ball. I know ball. We can know ball. Shit, we can ball. Let's ball. One user on the 1000 Ways to Die IMDb page wrote a review titled Morbidly Watchable from 2 months ago. It kind of sums up all the thoughts I had while experiencing this mess as a child. I read, 1000 Ways to Die is morbid, ridiculous, frequently tasteless, and oddly watchable. It is not exactly high art unless one's definition of art includes reenactments of people dying in increasingly stupid ways while the narration judges them with open contempt. Some deaths are horrifying, some are plainly exaggerated. It works best when it leans into dark comedy rather than pretending to be serious educational television. 6 stars. Not dignified, but certainly memorable. I don't know about you, but for me, that's the point, right? Not dignified, but certainly memorable is the exact response I believe the creators were looking for. Not a dedicated ride or die fan base, but a series that in a couple years you'll sit on your lunch break, bothering your coworker with a constant reminder of what the show even was. To my surprise, it seems like 1000 Ways to Die still has a fan base, or at least one that continued for many years after the show ended. A petition to bring back 1000 Ways to Die was posted nearly 9 years ago with 88 out of 100 signatures. One of the signees, in fact, dating only 5 months ago in 2026, the year of our sacrificial rabbit Jax, wrote, and I quote, "Bring back Ron Perlman, and we want more reasons to avoid our curiosity as we know killed the cat." But even with the overwhelming demand to bring it back, 1000 Ways to Die had its fair share of criticism. I found an article dating back to August 12, 2020 by Scott Waylus and Connor Wilcox titled 1000 Ways to Die, a televisual template for commodifying tragedy and vilifying the deceased, in which there is a paywall. I sent a full article request to the authors, but at the time of filming this, all we have of it is this juicy ass title, to which I agree, okay? And look, there's an abstract to present the article, so I will read that because that's all I can access. It reads as follows. Whereas sorrow and eulogizing typically accompany death, the television program 1000 Ways to Die transforms tragedy into palatable, commodified spectacles. These mediated representations maximize the spectacle of death and invite a German word while minimizing its tragic and human components. The gaze-inducing images of death reduced individuals to a grotesque body as opposed to a person. Additionally, by villainizing the deceased and constructing them as antagonists responsible for their own deaths, death itself becomes the text's hero and restorer of karmic order. I am actually fucking seething at the fact I can't access that article. Scott Connor, please send me this article. I am itching like I have a requiem. 1,000 Ways to Die was built by a network specializing in the complete degradation of women and the stupidity of cishet white men. As much as this is true, I still genuinely experience joy while indulging in old episodes. Shit! Even making this video right now. You know what? Story time. Around 6 or 7, I would frequently stay over my grandfather's house. He had a huge collection of DVDs and VHS tapes. I'm talking Mount Everest type of high. I'm talking Delisa type of high. I'm talking me right now type of high. He would constantly record over the tapes. And one tape, being his Aladdin, had what at the time was completely jarring for me. An abrupt cut to 1,000 Ways to Die. A series I was unaware of at this point. I remember the first splat of the chalk outline hitting the pavement. The semi-truck bolting around the corner, smacking it. What I know now as Ron Perlman's sexy ass voice bass boosted out of the tape's film. I was enamored, fully enthralled. I studied the segments like art while mouth agape at the gore. My grandfather had an interesting way of giving lessons. He'd mainly use film as a way to visually convey his points. If someone asks you to be quiet and you're still talking, he'll show you Jackie Brown. If you ever needed to outsmart a serial killer, he'd show you The Shining. The films weren't to be enjoyed any longer. They were to learn from. My exposure to such adult themes, views, and material at such a young age, although I appreciate the vast knowledge of pop culture media as a whole I've retained over the years, living with such an undeveloped mind, there was only one way to equate 1,000 Ways to Die: as comedy. It's important to recognize what is easily accessible out there, and should there be a bigger push for moderation, especially in the conversation of heavy gore and our children's accessibility to it. We watch films now, like Scream or Obsession, or most recently The Backrooms, where we smile or gawk at tragic events as if they're humorous, treating death as a punchline rather than a loss. With more mainstream horror becoming as graphic as willingly possible, examples being Terrifier and the Saw franchise, usually categorized as torture porn, we're somehow equating gore to comedy, something that 1,000 Ways to Die unfortunately achieved perfectly, even if not receiving the best criticism. That is not to say children cannot be exposed to death. Disney has killed almost every mother they have ever created, and it's tragic, sometimes even thought-provoking. It sparks conversation. It allows kids to ask questions. In these instances, it's not to gawk, not to laugh, it's to understand, to empathize, to care. Children are, in fact, emotionally intelligent enough to grapple death, guys. And with that, I fear we have found ourselves at the end of the road. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any ideas of what I should do next, feel free to leave a comment and share this video along with any future videos you like to support this channel. It was nice letting you into my brain. Catch you when I catch you.
Why? Because Tina wants to grab the attention of Lil Ron, a rapper who's had a string of hits, all based around one common theme. Big fat booty. Big fat booty, booty.